If I could sing that theme right now, I would do it because as the cleric beast, and I just feared your old blood because we're about to get into it. What's up, YouTubers, one and all? My name is FateLive1987, and today we are taking a look at Bloodborne The Board Game. Yes, the board game this time. And we also got something special as well. This is the Moon Presence card. Yes, I still have it in the package. No, let's just get it out. Why not? Moon Presence card is exclusive to the Game Night kit from Bloodborne the Card Game. Going over this quickly. Moon Presence, at the end of each hunter's attack step, deal 1 damage to the hunters who dealt the least damage to the monster this round. This damage cannot be prevented. So this can actually go well with the rules of the card game. But we're really talking about the board game today. Got this for a really good price. I can't tell you what it is because I'm not that type of guy. I confuse sometimes. Really like the art and the packaging. It's so good. The box, like, sometimes it's a bit hard to, like, open it. Yeah, all that. You got yarn in it, like, it's so good looking. On the back, on here, all this. It's the same all 4 fights. Alright, so we got, welcome, good hunter. The blood moon rises into the night sky, pushing the city of Yharnam into madness and chaos. Hunters are tasked with cleansing the infected victims of the beast plague on this night of the hunt. Should they tarry or fail their task, Yharnam will succumb to insanity and death. The moon is close. It will be a long hunt. So, this is the components of the game. We got all the miniatures here. There's 37 miniatures total. Yeah, I know that by heart because I studied this game a long time. It's insanely long how I know this game inside and out sometimes. This is the Kickstarter. This is the Kickstarter it was backed on Kickstarter. Let's start with that. So they got 37 miniatures, 4 counter bases, 1 hunt board, 20 map tiles, 4 hunter dashboards, 4 trick weapon dashboards, 11 firearm cards, 108 stat cards, 61 consumable and reward cards, 75 enemy and boss cards, 250 campaign cards, 4 player aid cards, 109 tokens, and 1 rulebook. So it's not that bad. It's not that big of it shouldn't be big of a game unless you add the freaking expansions, which I got 2. They're both on the way. One should be here tomorrow. One should be here Friday. But taking a look at the box, we got a lot of art on the side. So let's open it up. All right. Alright, so this is obviously brand new. I didn't have to take out the wrapper or anything. It's looking good. Yarn them there. Got the Blood-Starved Beast, guys. You all. Seems like, I think, that's old yarn and stuff. Hey! The theme I want to sing at the beginning of the video during the intro, but I can't because I'm a terrible singer. I mean, I could try. I mean, then again, it'd be so cringy if I did. You know what? Let's fuck him. Yeah, I can't do it. but it's like it's very good. So this is the rule book. I think this is the first version. They got an updated version somewhere on online, so I'll take that and look at that later. So these are what they call the dashboards. Okay, so we got the threaded cane hunter. Looks really nice, honestly. Got this, and then we flip it over to the back. Oh, we flip it over like this, and then I see the transformation. Look at that; it's very good, and also lights glaring. So, apparently, we got that. That's the first one. Second one, Hunter Axe. There you go. Ludwig's Holy Blade. You know, honestly, I really hate the fact that they included Ludwig's Uncanny Holy Blade instead of the other main game, which is not the not Snake Driver, it was something else. Saw Spear. Why didn't they include the Saw Spear and they instead included a different, I mean seriously. What the heck was that about? So, you also got this. My favorite, honestly, is the Salt Cleaver. I one of my favorites. And it's also the freaking outfit as well. It's always a Salt Cleaver me. Like, it's a bonus. I mean, sure, it does have a drawback to it. The fact it doesn't really damage much. Hey! I really wish it said you died on it. I really do. Like, they can get all these. I'll take blue, maybe, or take red. But we only get 6 HP inside this game. It's different than the card game. You get 6 HP instead of 8 HP. So that's something else. So you got this now. Also go on the back. We got Bloodborne The Board Game. So this is the Hunter's Dream. Wait, I didn't show it to you with the camera. Frick. Okay. So this is what they are. Okay, so you got 6 HP, you got Blood Echoes, max 3, Firearm, and you got the Trick Weapon. That's your dashboard. So this is what we got. So we got the chapter card, we got the 3 enemy cards, which are based off of the kin, beasts, and what seems to be humanoid or whatever the hell it is. And we got the upgrade card. This is the hunt track. You get to here and you get past that, game over. Yeah, I know, it's gonna be a hard game. So these are the tiles. Really nice and well done, I have to admit. And they all add this on the back, so go scrap yourself. So we got the courtyard lamp. Yeah, put it out. Dull tile. We get the alleyway. We get the graveyard. Oh. Yeah, there's like 5 of these I have to go through. Another blank. 3 blanks. Blank 1, blank 2, and blank 3. And then we get barred window. Some of them also do have rules on them as well. Such as Second's Clinic, what we're about to take a look at. So, for this one, this is Second's Clinic. Come on. There we go. Once during their hunter turn, the hunter may suffer 1 damage to draw 1 card. I mean, it's a win-lose. Why would you do it though? Honestly, why? Why would you? Especially about to go on. So we got ransack house, and we got occupy house, and now we're getting to the boss tiles, as in like where you fight the boss at. I mean, I wish you could have a bigger space, but like what the. So you got the central lamp. Interact on central lamp tile to teleport to any space or inside your fog gate. You got dull tile. Toma Odon. Instead of drawing a random treasure, draw 3 and select 1. Shut other back in the deck. Oh God. So this is obviously just the first, like, just the first first a few areas inside of Bloodborne. That's basically what this is telling you. The Great Bridge, of course. Hunters may not move out of space to contain enemies while on this tile. Yes, this is in fact the boss tile for the Cleric Beast, which you still see there. In fact, I'm just gonna slowly pile these next to each other. Alright, here's the final tile set. We got Grand Cathedral, aka the boss for Vicar Amelia. Dragged under space, heal 2. Church of the Good Chalice, which is of course Bloodstar Beast. Also, Toma Odon is actually Father Gascoigne, so you know. When interacting with treasure, maybe we explain one bucket. Yeah, I'm messing up on my words. I don't know why. Another dull tile, and finally, Odon Chapel. Enemy attacks suffer 1 damage, 1 less speed while on this tile. So there's that. So now we got something different for you guys. It is called tokens. We get Frenzy. Yes, apparently we get the Frenzy tokens. Poison, and we also get Foggate. Indeed, I like the Foggate. I really do. So let's get the Foggate out first. And it's really well done, truth. Poison out now. 1 for each player. Frenzy. I can tell because it just looks like a hypnosis spiral or some shit like that. We got the treasure. So get them all out. Now we got the 7 NPCs. Eileen. Sevka. They're the same on both sides, so let's just go with that. Henrik. Jura, I think that's how you say it. Alfred. Bloody Crow, Canehurst. And Jura's ally. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 12 Blood Echoes? What in the name of Primus are you doing? Apparently we got a lot of Madman's College, or is that no, that's actually Insight. Wow. Also got 5 civilians to deal with. And oh, this is the Blood Moon Tracker, by the way. This is the Blood Moon Tracker. Be warned. 5 civilians. They all look the exact the same. Like why did they have this thing girl? But again, probably just show like a distress or something. I don't know. We also got like 5 lamps. Are the lamps? I think those are lamps. I'm not exactly sure what these are. This is where you can't place lamps. You got Insight. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tokens of Insight. Wow. Let's punch them all out. Yeah, some of these I feel like we're gonna rip the paint, the work as soon as I punch them out. Like, it's not that bad when you, I mean, you just gotta watch how you punch them out. That's all you gotta do. And then you got, oh my god, alright, we're gonna have to count this a lot. Alright, so then you got, let's see here, this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 40 tokens of blood of damage. This is the damage tokens. Why are blood echoes so scarce inside this game? What the hell? They are so plentiful inside of the card game. But for the board game, you only got 12. What's with that? I mean, I thought you earn blood echoes every time you kill a monster or something. Like souls, you know? Like the Souls games. You earn souls. You can level up with them because that's how the game rolls. And one flamed. But that's it. That's all there. That's all that. And of course it was the 10 that flamed. So now we're going to take a look at the miniatures. And we got a lot of cards to go through. Here we go. And apparently we got stuff to put our token. Look at that. Look at that. We got stuff to put our tokens at. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And of course we got this. We got to keep for the miniatures. Let's take a look at the miniatures and see what we got. Oh my god. Oh my god. What did I just stumble into? Oh my god. I will have to move this over here. Give me a moment. I'll have to move the box. Okay. Nope, that is not what I wanted. Okay. Give me a moment to just slide these guys out. That is not what I wanted. No way. Okay. Alright. Darn you, Rain. Okay, so. Look at that. Saw Cleaver miniature. That's good. You know what? Let's do a freaking size comparison. Fuck this. Size comparison with a Transformer. Why not? Mary. That's a deluxe class. What about a Voyager class? Okay. And for the hell of it, let's get our leader class. Why am I doing this? Census scale, alright? I'm doing census scale. That is just sad. Oh my god. Alright, so there's that. These miniatures stand about the same size. So these at least. At least. He has no face, the fuck? And then again, none of them have faces. So these are the 4-player hunters. I'm usually with the Saw Cleaver. I mean, well, the Saw Cleaver, I like to, I like the aesthetic of it, honestly. So we got these. These are the female beast patients. And then we got the regular beast patients with these. So this is one of them. And also this is one of them. So size comparison, they're the exact same size. Fuck it. Let me keep them out for the hell of it, just so I can. We got Grindor I'm gonna use, Sound we're gonna use, Lockdown I'm gonna use, done. Okay, so size comparison for deluxe compared to these. Since they're the same exact size, we'll just use this one. Also, comparing to these, they are a bit taller. So, there's that. Size comparison with Voyage class. Look, I don't care. I don't freaking care if you think this is stupid. Honestly, I'm doing it for the scale. I'm not doing it because I'm gonna do a crossover event. What do you think that's just That's only going to happen in a story, and even then, that's just going to be the people playing this thing, not actually us interacting. Although there was really a good crossover story, I'd like to read it, please. Thank you. And of course, leader class. There. So there's that. Now we got, so let's put all these guys over here for now. No, over here. Right here. Here. So now we got the first two bosses. Technically, it is the same boss according to the video game, but apparently decided to split into two different bosses. Yeah, I mean, I wish they could have done something different with that, but oh well. But anyways, we got Father Gascoigne, and we got his transform variant. They're both bosses, and they're both the same size. According to this, the hunter is almost the same size. Size comparison. Since they're technically the same size, let's say fuck it. Not bad. Voyager class. Not bad. I'm starting to reach this shit. And then leader class, because of course, why not? Finally reaching over the foot. Thank you. So that's all the small guys. Push them off to the side for now. And also a bunch of tokens shit. Here we have now the bigger stuff. And I really do mean bigger. Also, apparently these guys fell off their base. What the fuck? Let me just put them back on somehow. So apparently I got some mobsmen falling off their base. What the fuck? That is not right. That is honestly not right in truth. That's not right at all. Alright, so this is the mobsmen. The hunter mob. Comparing that to the hunter. They're kind of, yeah, they're the exact same size, so we kind of know what to do off here. I got 4 of these, but 2 of them have people falling off their bases. That is not good. That's not good at all. Alright, next up we have these bastards. Huntsman's Minion. These are much taller now. And according to the hunter, they are that size. So, yeah, I guess you can see that. Size comparison. Here we are with Lockdown. Bloodborne class. Reaching up to the knee. Here we have with Voyager class. Still not enough for you. I don't know why. And here we have leader class. It's bound to happen, but fucker. Show up. So there's that. Now we get these guys. One of my favorites. Well, to look at, not to fight. The Scourge Beast. Yeah. We got 4 of these guys, baby. It's really crazy. Really. Scourge Beast, size comparison with the Hunter. was surprisingly a bit smaller than I expected. And of course, size comparison, because been doing a lot. Wait, how tall was that queen? You know what? We already done the size comparison for that. Moving on. Now we got the church servant. Size comparison to that. Not bad. When it comes to comparison to this, it is a bit taller, so it's time for that comparison. They're different. Skirts piece on the side. Fuck up. I don't know. You know, it's fun when you're doing this, you know. Side comparison, coming up the shin. We don't really got big ones yet. We don't really got big ones. And of course this guy. Alright. Now it's time for like the really big enemies now. We have the church giant. Size comparison. Now that's giant. That's now that is something I admire. That they do scale correctly. That's good. Size comparison. Yeah, you're gonna wait for a little bit. But size comparison is with lockdown. Oh, it's reaching almost to his hips. It's good. For Soundwave, it is reaching to past his knee. Wow. For Blackout, it's actually reaching to his knee. What the hell? That is amazing. Okay. So we're done with the enemies. Now we're going on to the other three bosses. First of which has probably the most awesomest base. And you know what? Let me get the appropriate tile. Because it's just the perfect tile. Great bridge. Spawn that bastard there. Look at it. Look at how awesome this is. I don't care if it's not painted. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. This is amazing. Size comparison. Really good. Like, look at this. This is amazing. And of course, we gotta do some comparison with the boss itself. So here we are, the block. Whoa, shit, we're dead. Reaching up to his lower abs. Soundwave is up to his thigh. I think up to his hips, actually. Wow. And Blackout, because he's a legal class. The only one I own, I really need to get another one, but unfortunately I can't find one anywhere else. Wow. I mean, the scale, though. The scale, though. Okay, next up is the Car Emilia. I don't care if it's on the bridge. So, that's the size comparison for Car Emilia. How does it scale when it comes to the Cybertronians? up to his hips, had a sound wave, past his knee, and of course, right just barely at his knee. Just barely making it. Alright, and the final miniature we have is the Bloodstar Beast, which deals with a lot of poison. And oh my god, why so much cabbage and cribbage and what in the name? You can fit a thing in here. That's disturbing. But this is the beast. That's the boss. According to the size, it is literally level, so we don't need a size comparison, sadly. There you go. Alright, so that's all the miniatures. I will get them out of the way in a moment. But so far I'm I'm really liking this game, how it's going. What the flabbergasted, thank you. No, that's not where you go. Apparently it's... Is that? No. So, get all that. Unfortunately, this doesn't really come with like a good cover unlike these. Also, you get these 4 things. These are like to cap the bases so you know what color you're playing as. Although, if you've been playing the game for a while, you should know by now what monster you're... What's your goal, you know? I like the fact they're easy to find out to slot in their thing. Really cool. I am planning to get the Chalice Dungeon soon. Do not worry. But in the meantime, I think we're gonna be now taking a close look at the cards, and at the same time, starting to put some of these here for like safekeeping, I guess. I mean, then again, I don't really know where you're gonna put most of these. I mean, I do like the setup here. I'm not gonna lie. The way that they have this is very good. We'll start with the cards that apparently were out of place. And yeah, still standard view with that. Put Cybertronians back. Yeah, this is gonna be a long one, boys. It's gonna be a long one. So getting this out. So this is gonna be the boss cards, firearm cards, and probably other cards as well, I don't know. But these are like the regular size cards for the game. Come on. I should have been doing this on camera, what the fuck. But yeah, there's the boss cards. You get one of each boss card. There's 2 phases on each side. Player count. You know, I was actually thinking, what if you take it on with 4-player health when you only got 1 player? Like, I was thinking, could that be a good thing to do? Like, could it be possible? Maybe, I don't know. Oh. Come on. Also, when I was making fan-made expansions for Bloodborne the card game, I knew I got carried away with especially when I was doing other bosses. But you know what? I mean, the final bosses. The final bosses last all throughout the game, but somewhere along the line, it got so convoluted to the point that, I mean, it's possible to make the expansion. It's just, like, is it even really worth time to just go for it? Not to mention that, there you go. Now you open it. Not to mention that we have, several other things to deal with, and one of those things is, copyright. Yeah, I don't know. Look, alright, so you got repeating pistol. Apparently get two versions. Okay, so you get the blank version, you get the color version. Guess these are like the color gray versions on the stuff. So you get repeating pistol, Wells Marinus, Lovewood's rifle, cannon, flame sprayer, Evelyn, Hunter blunderbuss, cannon, Hunter pistol, Evelyn, Hunter pistol. So you get like two of the same weapon twice. Well, or 3 times, I don't know. Then you got the boss cards. The Carmelia. Yeah, try fighting the entire boss with one player and this much health. Both sides. Wow. But, you got 44 for 4 players on Cleric Beast. You're gonna die. 5 Gascoigne, if you want to include both in sadly. He's got more health, unfortunately. You got 40, and then you got another 38. So it's 78 health. Bloodstar Beast, you got 38. Carmelia, you got 42. So there's that. I like the cards, I really do. Now it's time for Tarot size cards. This one should be opening a bit easier. And this one has a player aid. I like that. I really do like the player aid. We will not be going over the, there will be some decks I will actually save for the second half. That's right. We'll be doing this review for 2 parts. Well, actually, scratch that. I might be able to do it in the same videos, just that it's going to be edited to look like it's the same video, when in reality, I shot this 2 different days. So scrap yourself with the time and me being fucking sleepy. And yes, I'm trying to upload more. I did just, in fact, upload a compilation. I'll be uploading the second tomorrow, hopefully. It will take a while for the second to upload, but when it does, it will be good. Well, also, I'm going to be putting timestamps for every single one of them. The depth compilation doesn't need a timestamp. You can just watch through and all that. But for the market, for the learning curve, I'm gonna put timestamps for that, so you can sit through all 3 hours if you want of David's 53 times. That's right, 53 times he played against Market before he finally beat him. He's honestly got worse deaths on Decaying Izikes. Also, apparently people hate Market. What the hell? Ugh. Just hate this stuff, you know? Oh. I don't want to break the cards while trying to open them. I want to have them nice and neat. Oh, God. Alright, that was good. Alright. I wasted like, what, 5 minutes on just this one? God, I wonder how much hard our other ones are to get open. Ugh. Alright. Here we go with these. Alright, so we got Bloody Crow Canehurst. I'm not going to read the card, I'm just going to let you look through it. Now, it is the exact same size, same on both sides. It's just that the health is different because of the players. Old Hunter Henrik. I really hope without the freaking glare, you can see it good. Now, Sefka. God damn the glare. What the hell? Also, take a look at the back as well. They all have the same health, 10 or 18. Eileen the Crow. Jorah's Ally. Alfred Hunter of Vile Bloods. Old Hunter Jorah. Alright, now you got the enemies. You got Church Giant. And you got two different sides, actually. And yes, that is an instant kill. There are enemies that can do freaking instant kills. The hell. Female Beast Patient. And also notice the health from the top. Church Giant got 6 health. Male Beast Patient. Church Servant. Scourge Beast. And yes, that's a rule, you have to fall. And notice they're different colors too. That's going to be something you're going to play part of. Huntsman's Minion, yeah, 5. Hunter mob for... You got player aid. Dodge, stagger, stun, frenzy, poison. Round summary actions, Hunter's Dream, attack, and war cards. Yeah, 40s. So, that's that part. Which deck is the smallest? Alright, so now we got the enemy action deck, which will be the bosses. Yeah. Bosses and enemies and how they interact. And it is part of the reason how this game is diceless. Yes, there's no dice. This is cards only. 3 different sized cards. Fucking. Alright. So we got it open. I'm about to show you all of them. This is gonna be big. Because all these pertain to the AI. Here we go. So you get the enemy action. Basic. You get 3 of these. 2, 3. You get 2 of these, special. And finally, you get ability. These shuffle every single time. They never go away. Now you got Declare Beast Phase 1. Now each phase has 5 cards to it, meaning each boss has 10 cards total. I honestly don't like that. I like it better with the Dark Souls, where it has a number of cards and stuff. I mean, sure, technically a boss supposed to have, here's the thing. I'm used to it being where you can shuffle in the cards every single time you have to reset the boss. This is not it, unfortunately. This is the same exact tax for every single time. That's why I wanted to get the Dark Souls board game, because it had so much diversity with the bosses. And this doesn't. But at least they're way harder, because Bloodborne is more punishing than Dark Souls, apparently. And yeah, I can confirm it really is, because I couldn't even reach the first boss, and then in Dark Souls 3, I easily beat Gundyr. So there's obviously a big change up there. Cleric Beast, Red Slam. I'm just gonna let you look at these. Yes, you get 2 of the same attack. Whatever. Thing is, they actually take these from the actual Future Press guide. They actually take this exact enemy way they do it. It's that good. Alright, now we got Phase 2. It is unfortunate things have tax, so just move on. Now there's something different. Notice the color background, that's going to be very important. Yes, this can kill. You only get 6 health in this, so there are some instant kill attacks. That's that was Piece. This is Father Gascoigne. So I don't think I'll let you look that one a bit too long. There you go. Alright, now we have phase 2. Now we got technically phase 3. Nothing. Combo. Red smash. Phase 2. Alright, the Bloodstarved Beast. Phase 1. Also, notice phase 2 always has the bloody. That's something I also like, honestly. Okay, now we have phase 2. And now phase 3, Vicar Amelia. Also, apparently Vicar Amelia has the same exact boss music as Cleric Beast. I mean, I wish it had something different, but oh well. And welcome to phase 2. And we're done. That is all the boss stuff. We'll be going over the rest of the cards tomorrow, but for today, we're going to finish this. Alright, Bone Marrow Ash. By the way, all of them are going to have consumable in the back, so you know. So, Bone Marrow Ash, get 2 of those. Also, what did you do? Sedative, you get 2 of those. Antidote, you get 2 of those. Throwing knife, 2 of those. Now you missed. 2 of those. Molotov cocktail. Pungent blood cocktail. Pebble. Beckoning bell. Cold blood dew. Blue elixir. Beast blood pellet. Bold hunter's mark. Quicksilver bullets. Lead elixir. Fire paper. Blood vial. Bolt paper. Alright. So there's the consumables. Now let's talk about these, the reward cards. Okay, so you get the back of that, back of each one of them. The product of a careful refinement process, this blood vial appears to be a clinic original. The small user box received from a young Yanam girl plays a song shared by her mother and father. Inside the lid is a small scrap of paper, perhaps an old message. Two names can be made out, however, faintly: Viola and Gascoigne. At the workshop, these bloodstones are embedded in weapons to fortify them. Shells with slime harboring arcane power, which can be rubbed on weapons to imbue them with their strength. Used to envelop oneself in a black mist, then transform temporarily into a messenger. When struck into the ground, it recreates the blue sparks that are said to surround the dark beasts. Designed to incinerate beasts and victims touched by the scourge. Uses phantasms to partially summon abandoned arboretors. Allows the arc of quickening, a technique particular to the first hunters. Borrowed the strength of the terrible undead dark beast to blast surrounding foes back. The gloves of an executioner from a faraway land. Creates a small exploding star, a powerful part of the choir's arsenal. Blood taken from Adela, nun of the Healing Church. Blood taken from Ariana, cathedral ward woman of pleasure. This hunting accessory provides light while leaving both hands free to hold weapons. Discovered by the old hunter Ludwig, this rune emptied Ludwig of his fears, at least in the midst of a hunt. Transcribes inhuman sounds. Blood rapture is the raw euphoria of the warmth of blood. The Great One Odon, lacking a form, exists only in voice and is symbolized by this rune. This rune represents the Healing's Church and its ministers. Blood ministration is, of course, the pursuit of communion. The claw mark is an impulse to seek the warmth of blood like a beast. Beast is one of these early Kali runes, as well as one of the first to be deemed forbidden. Rife acknowledges visceral attacks as one of the darker hunter techniques. This red smudged rune means hunter and has been adopted by those who have taken the Hunter of Hunters oath. A transcription of Moon, as spoken by Great Ones inhibiting the nightmare. A transcription of I, as spoken by left behind Great Ones, allows one to make additional discoveries. Okay, so we're now going to be doing this next part. This is the upgrade and basic deck cards, you know. Basic decks. I should have opened this earlier. Oh, actually that one was easy. That one was really easy. Okay, so this is the deck. Alright, so we got officially 12 of these. 12 of these. Then you get 12 of these. $12 of these. And finally, 12 of these. So those are your basic. That's your basic right there. That was really easy to do. I could have done that last night. Wow. Yes, this is the next day I'm filming, so what about it? Like I said, it might be 2 parts, but then again, I don't know. Might as well film it as one part, you know? So, now we got the extra new deck now. The different upgrades you can get, per se. Alright, trying to get this open. Alright, there we go. It's open. So, this might be a lot to go through, but this is what we got. So we have officially 1, 2, 3 of these. One, 2, 3 of these. So we got defensive, indomitable, second wind. I believe each of these are 3 each, if I'm not mistaken. Second wind. We got rapid, not rabid, rapid, like rapid waves or something like that. Put it on the bottom. Tireless. That's the first part done. Then we got invigorating. Tactical. Let's take a better look at that. It's better. Counter strike. Quick change. Dash. That's part 2. Part 3, unyielding. Adaptive. Cheap shot. visceral, agile. Alright, that's part 3. And finally, rallying, leaping, poised, bloodthirsty, swift. If I'm going too fast, people, put it down in the comments. So, that's all the upgrades we got there. That goes there. And now we're going to get into spoiler territory. But, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to go with this in chronological order according to how I put it on my file. So, let me take them out of the deck and stuff. Okay, first campaign deck open. The Long Hunt. Which is, of course, the Cleric Beast boss campaign. It's the only way it could be possible. The Long Hunt. Of the monsters created by the beast plague, the scourge beasts are the most revealed. Once human, these terrible monstrosities are fast, agile, and lethal. As of late, more and more these beasts have been appearing in Central Yarnum, and thus we've been tasked with discovering the source of their increasing numbers, as well as eliminating as many as possible. So, we get the chapter set up, and we get the mission. And that's going to be for each of the chapters. And of course, you get these numbered on the back. So, this one has 60. So this is a 64. This is 64 cards for this campaign. Here we go. We must take to the streets of Central Yarnum. The number of scourge beasts grows, and we leave no area unchecked and uncleansed. We should also gather what information we can from the surviving townsfolk. Perhaps they can grant us insight into the cause of this sudden infestation. Your senses flare at the sound of rapid moving claws. You turn just in time as a scourge beast, much larger than the rest, leaps at you, its eyes glowing a haunting blue. Yes, you also get enemy stats with this. This is very good. I do like this. I really do. The beast lets out one final roar before slumping to the ground. In the distance, you spot a group of the creatures seemingly watching a fight. Readying yourself for attack, you instead find them turning and bounding off, deeper into the district. Entering, you find a large mob of townsfolk, all gathered around a blazing pyre constructed in the center of the courtyard. Upon it lie the bodies of numerous scourge beasts. Suddenly, from behind you hear shouting. More infected, as the mob begins to surround you. Driven to frenzy by the early stages of the infection, the townsfolk are compelled to partake in the hunt, believing that eradicating the beasts the plague will be quelled as well. From their remains you gather what useful supplies you could find. You knock on the door. From inside, a frail and elderly voice addresses you. A hunter? About time you showed up. It ain't safe out here for an old woman. Reckon you can take me someplace away out the night? The smell of beast-warding incense fills your nose as you enter the old chapel. The old woman thanks you for your kindness before taking refuge with another small band of townsfolk. Suddenly, the chapel's magnificent stained glass window shatters as a scourge beast crashes through. The warding incense usually repels such beasts during a hunt, for to not only attack the chapel but also appear unaffected by the incense. There is something greater than mere instinct driving them this night. So apparently it turns out these campaigns don't really follow a set. They don't follow exactly the storyline completely. They follow it enough, but it seems like it takes place different days. Or nights, perhaps. As you enter the ransacked house, you catch sight of a young girl hiding in the corner from the monster stalking her. Once these creatures are dispatched, she can be rescued. You approach the girl cautiously. Suddenly she bursts past you, darting out into the street, her eyes wide with fear. You grip the girl's arm, keeping her from further flight. I'm not infected. Please, let me go, she pleads, tugging at your grip. Now that she is close, the girl does indeed reach the beast's stench, though whether this is from the plague or the blood covering her is undeterminable. Once claimed by the beast plague, there is no cure, and no mercy may be granted when it comes to the infected. Had you not taken the action you did, who knows what threat she may potentially become? We cannot take chances. You lock eyes with the young girl and glimpse her humanity and fear. Odon Chapel is all you say before releasing your grip. Between sobs, she nods before darting off into the night. And this is the setup card, 17. We're going to be speaking this one in a while. We have taken the first steps toward cleansing Central Yharnam of the Scourge infestation, but our efforts have not gone unnoticed. The beasts have fled deeper to the district, and some seek to avoid us. Perhaps some bait can be used to lure them out. Now that we have suitable bait, setting a trap for these instinctive beasts will be easy enough. As we prepare, we should also investigate the havens across the district, where the common folk gather during the night of the hunt, just to see just how far the infection has spread through Central Yharnam. From deep in the district, a piercing screech rends the night air. This is not the familiar roar of a scourge beast. With a loud crash, a monstrous figure lands upon our coarse laden trap. It's the Scourge Beast. The beast has become enraged, lashing out with deadly force. If we continue this fight here, the damage to the city will be extreme, something we cannot afford. We must lure this creature to some place more isolated. We have successfully lured the monstrous creature to the tomb of Odon, far enough from the streets of the city to any major damage can be avoided. Hopefully, the beast's attention can be kept here for the time being. A soft voice addresses you. A hunter? I'm terribly sorry, but you may not enter. I am Araseka. This is my clinic, and I cannot allow any chance of infection within. But I might be able to aid you. I am working on a cure for this terrible plague, but I require blood samples from those freshly infected. Will you assist me? You knock on the heavy wooden door. After a moment you hear Araseka. You have brought me samples. Immensely useful. Perhaps you can spare further use. I've acquired the still warm blood of one of those beasts. Lure one here, strike it down, and I'll handle the rest. As you leave, you can't help but feel an underlying ruthlessness has replaced the compassion in her tone. Araseka has researched the effects of the beast plague, invaluable information that we can put to use. More so, she has synthesized her own form of refined healing blood. She could prove to be quite useful in the hunts to come. Hunter, I would ask one of a task of you. Should you find any survivors out there, send them here, and I swear my Hippocratic oath I will protect them, perhaps even cure them, and reward you for your efforts, of course. They're safe with me now, and their treatment's going well. Stabilized for the most part. Fascinating, really. Here you are as promised. As you approach the old chapel, the smell of warding incense fills your nose. You cautiously press on the large wooden doors. The Dark Souls moment right there. The doors open really slow. The interior of the chapel lies covered with blood. Corpses litter the ground. At the center, a figure lies hunched, feeding upon the remains. As it rises and turns to face you, you see it is garbed in the tattered clothes of the girl you chose to spare. Ooh. We must take this as a lesson. Even the slightest hesitation in our duties can lead to disaster. Mercy is not an option we can afford on the hunt. From the dark corner of the chapel, a hunched and robed figure addresses you. Ah, Hunter, are you? Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. If you spot anyone with their wits about them, bring them to this ear-ordering chapel. They'll be safe here. Odon Chapel, with its warding incense, offers protection to all during these nights of the hunt. As you enter the massive bridge, you hear the familiar gunshot of a hunter's firearm. Rushing forth, you come across the sight of a hunter slumped against the wall, firearm raised as a towering figure approaches. Checking over the hunter, he still lives, but only barely. He is not a hunter of the dream, however. If he's to survive, we must get him someplace safe. As you approach the clinic, Araseka instructs you to lay the wounded hunter near the door, then leave. She will handle it from here. Before departing, the wicked hunter reaches for you, motioning for you to take his equipment. As you enter the old chapel, the hunter comes to. He stands, although weakly. Thanks. Looks like my hunt has ended for now. But be warned, I believe there be some greater threat this night. Something greater drives these beasts forward, though what I do not know. From deep within the tomb of Odon, the cleric beast emits a thundering roar. From all around Central Yharnam, howls of scourge beasts are head and turn. It would appear this creature has taken up the role of pack leader, summoning the beast to it. As long as this creature lives, more scourge beasts will be drawn to it. The goal is clear. The clear beast had lured in the tomb of Odon. While it is distracted, let us use this time to complete the rest of the hunt. The towering beast lets out one final shrill cry before collapsing to the ground. In the distance, howls and cries of Scourge Beast now retrieving from Center Yarnum fill the air. On the horizon, the rays of the sun begin to rise, bringing the dawn and marking the end of this long hunt. You know soon enough, the blood moon will rise once more, and a new threat will call you into yet another hunt. You approach the large barred doors of the clinic. Knocking upon them, a low female voice answers. Suddenly, the large wooden doors of the clinic burst open and a bloody Yarmanite staggers out, collapsing to the ground. You recognize him as one of the survivors you escorted here this very night.
You have to stop her. She's torturing us. It's horrific.
He weakly pleads before running off. From the darkness of the doorway, a female figure emerges. A pity, but understand what I do for the greater good of Yarnum. Nah, mankind. What are a few lost lives? You can continue to aid me, Hunter, even pretend you saw nothing, and we may yet find a cure. Can't anyone comprehend? That'll be quite enough of you then. Isn't it time someone put you out of your misery? Oh well, I always want to try my hand on a hunter. Curse this oblivious fool, Sevka mutters before slumping to the ground. Inspecting the interior of the clinic, you confirm the words of the fleeing survivor. What could have pushed you to such feats of madness? An imposter, according to the video game. I need more patience. There aren't many humans left, I know. But find me every last one you can. Let's find a way to surpass our own stupidity. You're one of the bright ones. Don't you see how much this means? You can start by catching that fool you let get away. This time I'll be trying old blood. I've achieved much, and I owe it all to you. Take this as thanks. You knock on the heavy wooden door. At the moment you hear Sevka. You again? Perhaps you can still be of further use. I've acquired a still warm blood of one of those beasts. No one here stuck it down, I'll handle the rest. As you leave, you can't help but feel an underlying ruthlessness has replaced the compassion in her tone. Okay, so this is starting to repeat a bit. Ah, the hunter. I have a task for you. The infection spreads and the common folk need shelter. Send them here and I swear we'll protect them. Perhaps even cure them. And of course you'll be rewarded as well. Thank you, kind hunter. While we cannot offer much, this seems far better suited to one such as yours. No, wait, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Okay, let's try it again. The Great Bridge, the connector between Central Yarnum and the Cathedral Ward. You come across a small pack of Scourge Beasts. Surprisingly, rather than attack, they retreat, seemingly fleeing you. Perhaps it is the smell of blood or for some animal instinct instructing you to do so, but regardless of the reason, you will finish the purging these beasts from Yarnum. The Scourge Beasts have been eradicated from the district, at least for now. You press open the large doors of the ancient chapel. As you enter Odon Chapel, the familiar sight of the hunter you rescued greets you. He stands reloading his pistol and drawing his weapon. Ah, you've returned. Perhaps I still have some fight left in me, he says, though suddenly gripping his side. Well, perhaps with some assistance. The hunt. How invigorating. Come, let us purge these beasts. Survivors gather around and lights warding and incense of the chapel. One approaches you. Noble hunter, you've done so much for us this night, but I'm sorry. I would just ask a bit more of your kindness. Thank you, kind hunter, but we cannot offer much. This seems far better suited to one such as yourself than us. And that is the long hunt. This is the long hunt right there. The next campaign is Growing Madness. Although I think I might have just ran out of space on my phone. Hold up. Okay, now we have the Growing Madness. This night, a grand hunt has been called. Hunter and townsfolk alike had taken to the streets to join in the great purging. Among them, the renowned hunter, Father Gascoigne, has joined you in your task. Yet something about this hunt feels different. The scent of blood is heavy in the air. From above, the rays of the blood moon bathe the streets in a crimson red. All the while, an unnerving feeling lies just below the surface, as if something terrible is waiting to be unleashed. Gascoigne steps forward, taking the lead. He lifts his head. Ah, tonight there is something different in the air. Let there be no doubt. If it moves, you can be sure it's a beast, and even if it doesn't, but don't take any chances. Now, we hunt. Gascoigne's blows strike down his latest foe, but he does not stop. He rears back, bringing his mighty axe down again and again, blood spattering as he chops away. Suddenly, the bells of the Grand Cathedral far across the great bridge begin to chime. Gascoigne stops, drawn by the sound. More beasts. Can't you smell them? So many this night, so many left to kill. With this, he silently turns and departs. Corpses litter the bridge, massacred. The wounds upon them evident of a hunter axe. These bodies do not bear the signs of the plague, but appear to be cut down while fleeing. Suddenly, you hear a loud crash. From across the great bridge, a large boulder comes rolling. Look into the sky. You feel the rays of the blood moon casting down upon you, and even you cannot deny the bloodlust. A suspicion continues to grow in your mind, although you wish it didn't. You must locate Gascoigne. The night of the hunt is dangerous for any wandering the streets of Yharnam, for even those free of the beast plague may become a target for not only the ravenous beasts, but also the mobs of townsfolk, so eager to partake in the hunt. You approach the figure, a bruised and bloody man. Oh, thank heavens! You're a hunter, right? A proper one? Then please help. I'm trying to get someplace safe, wait out this terrible night. They've all gone mad. Aye, this place should do. And none too soon, my friend. I've experienced many a hunt, but this one, something ain't right, I tell ya. This one won't end well, not this time. Here, take this with my thanks. A sharp pain hits you from behind. You turn in time to parry a blade held by the man, his eyes suddenly showing madness among the gleam of the moon. Overtaken by rage, you strike him down. It seems even hunters are not immune to this frenzy. Oh, you must be a hunter. Must have had bad a fine time of it. Was out on the hunt myself, but now don't think I could stand if I wanted to. Say, you wouldn't be helping our fellow Yarmanite out, would you? I could even worth your while. Just need some supplies to last me through the night, that's all. Splendid, splendid. This should be enough to get through this hunt. Now, as for your reward, don't think I forgot. It's just, well, to leave my tools escaping one of the beasts near the old graveyard. I'm sure they're out there, though. Still out there, though. Probably. When the hunt is called, even the common townsfolk take to the streets to partake in the slaying of beasts. Of course, without the proper training, techniques, and tools, many often find themselves slaughtered by the creatures they seek. Ah, hunter, what a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights, I am Eileen, a fellow hunter of sorts. You've seen the madness that has gripped those this night, haven't you? They cannot be saved, so at least just the one option, and the reason why I'm here. But you seem to still have your wits about. Why don't you show me what you can do? Quite impressive. Perhaps you have what it takes to survive this hunt after all. Here, a gift for the proven hunter. Good luck out there. It may very well be that Gascoigne has succumbed to the effects of the frenzy. If this is true, we cannot allow one of our own to continue this path of wanton slaughter. Unfortunately, it appears the passage leading forward has been barred. Given that the great bridge separates Yarnum from the cathedral ward, perhaps the servants of the church might hold the key we need. On the corpse of the creatures you find the key you were searching for. With this you can continue on the trail of Gascoigne, but while verifying your fears about the madness gripping the old hunter is indeed important, we must also take care to see just how far said madness has spread to the townsfolk as well. The stench of death covers the massive graveyard. Bodies, both beasts and human alike, litter the ground. Moving onward, you come across a sight of Gascoigne mindlessly chopping away at a pile of fresh corpses.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll all be one of them, sooner or later.
Suddenly, he lunges forward to attack. Staggering with blood splattering from his mouth, Gascoigne falls to a knee. Suddenly, before you can react, a new vigor fills Gascoigne as he withdraws a blood vial and injects into his leg. He rises once more, uttering a frenzied roar. You are given pause as the red tint that has overtaken the city seems to grow in even deeper crimson. Casting your eyes to the sky, you face the terrible sight of the blood moon, seemingly so much larger than it should be. A ringing fills your ears, your head pounds, and your vision blurs momentarily. As it subsides, you can also feel electricity in the air as the sound of chaos rises through the city. The madness is spreading. This madness would easily break those of lesser conviction, but we are hunters. We are above such influences. While hunting those who have been afflicted, we must take care not to succumb as well. We must steel ourselves against this frenzy. Standing above your fallen foes, you remember the teaching of Ludwig, first hunter at the healing church, whose focus is resolve inward to overcome the horrors of the hunt. Are you a hunter? Then please, will you look for my mom? Daddy never came back from the hunt, and she went to find her, but now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared. She wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find her, give her this music box. It's one of Daddy's favorite songs, and whenever Daddy forgets us, we play so he remembers. Mom's so silly, running off without it. Inside the graveyard, you come across the corpse of a young Yarnum woman, a large red brooch around her neck. It would appear the girl's mother has become another unfortunate victim of the madness overtaking the city this night. Having mutilated, however, the corpse does not appear to bear signs of the scourge. As you near that house, you pull out the brooch. The light of the blood moon catches it, glinting off its center. A bloodstone shard, a rare item used to fortify weapons. Workshop. It would be right to return it to the girl, but such a find is rare indeed. From the bar window, the girl speaks. Brave hunter, did you find my mom? You couldn't find her. Oh, okay. But isn't there something I can do? Maybe mom and dad are stuck out there waiting for me to come to them. No, I'll be a good girl and wait for them. Hunter, was it really her? Mommy, don't leave me alone. You laid the brooch on the window before departing, the girl's sobs echoing throughout the night. The beams of the blood moon bathed the old chapel in an eerie light, the scent of beast-warding incense filling your nose. From the shadows, the figure of a hunter emerges, dressed in crowfog garb. Oh, a hunter? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. I am Eileen, a fellow hunter of sorts. You've seen the madness has gripped those this night, haven't you? They cannot be saved, so that leaves just the one option, and the reason why I'm here. But you seem to still have your wits about. Why don't you show me just what you can do? Well, the proven hunter. Shouldn't you be out there, hunting? No matter. But before you go, a friendly warning to you so you do not go near the old graveyard. Henrik, an old hunter, has gone mad, and he's my mark. You enter the graveyard to the sound of clashing weapons. Moving forth, you see Eileen locked in combat with another hunter. As Henrik falls to the ground, Eileen stands beside you. I told you Henrik was my mark, but you have my thanks. Though I would advise you watch yourself this night, for it seems the madness is strong. Leave the hunting of hunters to me. Henrik falls to the ground, motionless. You rush to Eileen's side. She still lives, though her breaths are staggered and forced. This madness, it will eventually take us all. I'll be fine. Go. There's still more hunting to be done. Gascoigne rears up, convulsing as vigor blows through it. Beasts cannot slay me. You move to attack, but your blows seem to have little impact. Perhaps it is the influence of the blood moon, or some deeper force pushing him forward, but for now you decide to fall back and regroup before launching your attack. Gascoigne is still a veteran hunter, and should not be underestimated. Gascoigne staggers back, causing his weapons to the side as he grips his head. Suddenly his form erupts into that of a monstrous creature, no more than one of the beasts now. Let us end this. If we cannot stop this madness ourselves, we can at least delay its spread to this awful night. Gascoigne lets out a bloody roar before falling on the ground. Ashamed to see this fate befall one of our own. Looking upward, you see the blood moon has begun to retreat from the sky, making way for the first light of the dawn. Even now you feel its terrible influence subsiding. With the rising of the sun, you know this hunt will soon end, but you feel no victory here. While you have quelled a large number of those affected, preventing the spread of this frenzy, you cannot help but wonder what the rising of the next blood moon will bring. You knock on the barred window where previously you had encountered that young girl. A new voice answers you, sounding older than the previous young. Hunter, you haven't by chance seen my little sister, have you? I told her to look out of the house, but she's run off somewhere. She's still quite small and wears a big white ribbon. Have you seen her out there anywhere? As a gigantic creature falls, you notice something off. Caught around his grotesque hand seemed to be the tattered remains of a large white ribbon. Now it's stained with a crimson red. How did this happen? I wish you ever go outside. At least I'll have something to remember her by. In the distance, a shrill cry of a young girl without a child fills the night air. I didn't know what to do, Hunter. I have nowhere to go. Please, help me. The girl breaks down and sobs. We cannot merely leave the child alone. We must get her someplace safe, at least for this night. Central Yharnam has been overtaken by madness this night, and it will appear even the usual besieged refuge cannot be trusted. This is the best we can find for the time being, though whether the girl will survive, we can only hope. As you enter the Grand Cathedral, you come across the sight of a hunter, garbed in crow-feather attire. She turns to you, her breathing haggard as she lets out a low laugh. Few can resist the intoxication of the hunt. Look at you just the same as all the rest. The hunters must die. Your punishment is death. Death to the hunters. She cackles as she draws her blades. The nightmare must end. As she falls to the ground, blood pooling around her, she reaches towards you, fighting to the very end. All hunters must die, she cackles before falling silent. You come across Eileen, slumped against the wall of the cathedral. Oh, you. I'm afraid I made a bit of a blunder, but that thing still lies in wait. Turn back. This is my score to settle. I'm just gonna have a short rest. She speaks before passing out. She seems stable. Cautiously, you enter the cathedral. Eileen lies against the wall, beaten but alive. Don't you ever listen to your elders? No matter. You did save my life. I know. Here for you. This too in hunter's work, but bears no honor. A burden you may choose to carry. You knock on the window, checking in on the civilian who aided you earlier, before the true madness of the night had begun. From inside you hear stirring. Silence then falls before the door to the house is violently cast open. From inside, a beast comes charging toward you. Inspecting the house, your fears are confirmed. He was not slain by this monster, but succumbed to the scourge. The transformation is usually much slower, however. Did the frenzy quicken its spread? Of this you wish not to think. And that is Growing Madness. Now it's time for Fall of Old Yharnam. Give me a moment. Now we have Fall of Old Yharnam. Spiraling below the cathedral ward lies the hamlet known as Old Yharnam. Far removed, the town lies isolated from the greater city. Recently, however, rumors have emerged of strange sickness, different from that of the beast plague, spreading through its streets. A group of hunters, notably those of the Powder Cares Covenant, were sent to investigate. Time has passed, and none have returned. Thus, we have been dispatched to discover what fate has befallen them. Here's setup. Not sure if I'm going too fast with these ones. Entering the old hamlet, you find its buildings and bones in disrepair and neglect. An eerie quiet seems overtaking its streets. While far less populated than the rest of Yharnam, this was once a thriving town, but you would almost swear it has been abandoned. Entering the row of houses, you see the form of a hunter slumped against the wall. Even from this distance, his many wounds are plain. Standing before him is a beast, claws ready to strike. You rush to the side of the fallen hunter. Through staggered and pained breaths, he speaks. They sent others? You must flee. The poison runs too deep. The district is lost. Get out. He chokes out before slumping over. We will not abandon our duty, however. We must find any remaining powder kegs and learn the extent of this outbreak. How could the district have fallen so far without us knowing? The powder kegs since here have been massacred and the hamlets overrun by beasts. But worse still, the infected did not bear the usual signs of sickness. Is this some new plague? A troublesome silence filled this dark house. As you explore, you hear the dragging of feet and low moans. From every corner, staggering infected shuffle out of the shadows. Inspecting the house, you find the remains of one of the missing powder kegs. Given the bloody scene, you appear to at least dispatch a great number of beasts before succumbing to their blows. You come upon a hunter slumped against a collection of tombstones. Kneeling beside her, she looks to you. Through labored and congested voice, she speaks. Antidote. She lets out a hacking cough, her head sink low. She still lives, but we will need to act swiftly. Thank you, but you cannot allow this sickness to spread. Find you and the others. Burn it all. It's the only way. She forces out as a black ichor escapes her mouth. She leans back, convulsing slightly before falling silent and motionless. Entering the courtyard, you see a massed townsfolk congregating in the open area. While you make moves to evade them, one notices you and shouts, alerting the others. Soon a mob descends upon you, torches and weapons at the ready. Inspecting the corpses of the fallen, you notice something strange. While some sickness has indeed ravaged them, the sores and pale grey skin are not the usual trappings of the beast plague. Could it be some new illness has manifested himself? From a bar window, a girl's hand he reaches out, grasping. Help! He's gone mad! She screams before being violently knocked back. Suddenly, the figure of one infected comes into view. You need to force your way inside and quickly if you are to save this girl. It unfortunately appears the blow from the beast was lethal. The girl breathes and laughs as you kneel beside her. There's one source at least. The infected do not attack their own. And that means if one survived, others might still remain as well. The slow rapping of large claws on cobblestone is heard as a large beast, sinewy and gaunt, emerges from the dark alleyway. Bloody flesh drapes its frame as dark ichor pools where it stands. Raising its head, it sniffs the air before letting out a thundering roar. The hunters are now being hunted. The creature lets out a shrill cry before bounding off, a trail of black blood in its wake. While you have encountered a terrible creatures born of the beast plague, this one does not feel of similar origins. Could this be something altogether new? The extent of this outbreak is concerning. These are not the typical signs of the beast plague, but something new altogether. Finding the remaining powder kegs is a diminishing priority compared to discovering whatever we can about this new threat. If this is truly some new sickness, then all the yard is potentially at risk. Entering the row, you see the sight of a hunter emerging from one of the houses. He stops upon seeing you, raising his stake driver defensively. You are no powder keg. Who are you? He cautiously approaches, keeping his distance to your answer. I see. So word has spread above. I am Jura. Unfortunately, I have not come upon any others. He looks back toward the doorway. I will finish here, but no threats remain. Check the rest of the hamlet. I will find you once I am finished. You come across upon a hunter standing over a pile of slain beasts, saw cleaver wet with blood. He turns to you, but does not seem aggressive. And just who are you? You explain your purpose. I see. Well, good you're here. There are only a few of us powder kegs left. He shakes his head. Old Yarnum is lost, and his paramount will stop his outbreak no matter the cost. Gather what you can to find us at the center of the hamlet. Tonight, Old Yarnum must burn. Smoke and heat engulf the area as all around you buildings have begun to burn. Emerging into the plaza, you hear the sounds of combat. Rushing forward, you find Jilla and the Salt Cleaver Hunter from locked in battle. You are a fool, Jilla! This place must be purged! The Salt Cleaver Hunter shouts as he strikes. Jilla dodges in response. You would slay those we protect. Can't you see what we're doing? Things you hunt, they're not beasts, they're people! The two move forward and clash once again. The Salt Cleaver Hunter lands a telling blow on Jura, sending him staggering to the ground. Seeing an opening, you move to strike, landing supplies sprawl on the Salt Cleaver Hunter. What treachery is this? Have you succumbed to the madness as well? He shouts before moving into a counterattack. Your blows land true and strike the hunter down. Jura slowly moves to his feet and staggers towards you. Good to see some remain untouched by the bloodlust. He looks upon the fires surrounding you. I might have to reread that again. Your blows land true and strike the hunter down. Jiro slowly moves to his feet and staggers towards you. Good to see some remain untouched by bloodlust. He looks upon the fire surrounding you, but no time for chatter. We must move quickly. Jiro lands a telling blow on the Salt Cleaver Hunter, sending him staggering to the ground. Seeing an opening, you move to strike, landing a surprise blow on Jura. If you refuse to listen, then you leave me no other option, he shouts before moving to counterattack. Your blows land true and strike Jura down. The Salt Cleaver stands and staggers towards you. A fool. He would allow the infected to escape. He would doom us all. He readies himself. Come, we have work to do. The purity of flame has long been one of our strongest tools against the infected, both physically and as a display to the common folk of our might. Sometimes they forget themselves. Let us create certain reminders that even in the face of a plague such as this, we do not waver. The burning pyre roars in the night sky. Looking upon the bodies of the beast, the potential impact of this outbreak sinks into you. Should this be allowed to spread into the whole Yarnum, there is no telling the havoc it could bring. You come upon a small band of townfolk huddled together against the creature standing before them. One moves to feebly attack it and is immediately cut down. Your attack will not be so inept. The band of survivors shies away from you, cautiously watching you with fear in their eyes if you were not a beast ready to strike. Before approaching, you recall the effects of the outbreak overtaking the district. The ruthless approach would be to cut them down where they stand and not risk spreading the plague. But it is not the very reason we hunt, but to protect the common folk. Such a large group will undoubtedly attract attention, but we must do what we can to get them someplace safe, at least for now. Old Yarnum has been devastated, and from what you have seen, only a handful of townsfolk still survive. This makes every one that you save all the more important, as this terrible sickness runs rampant. You cannot risk the threat of this infection. They all must be purged. The last of the survivors lets out a cry before you strike them down, silencing the last echo of life in the streets. The distant crackling of fires are the only sounds remain as you somberly turn to depart. There is still much to be done. From the streets, a hunter staggers at the view. Reinforcements! About time you showed up. He slumps against a nearby wagon covered in tarps. Old Yana burns this night. All we can do now is save the pile. For that I need supplies. Oil, wood, powder, as much as you can find. Bring it to me, I'll handle the rest. Thank you, friend. I'll put these to good use. Trust me, you'll like my little project. As he moves, you see him gripping a deep wound in his side. Going to show these beasts just what it means to fight a powder keg. Yura approaches you. The church has ordered us to seal off old Yana, Bonal, and everyone, but we may still save the remaining unaffected if we move swiftly. Gather whatever unaffected you can find. I will see if I can find a means of escape. De jure awaits your return. The remaining survivors having banded to him. These are all that remained. He shakes his head. No matter. My suspicions were confirmed. The main paths have all been destroyed. We'll need to find another way to get them out of here. I know one way that may still exist. I shall gather those remaining in the old church. Gather what you must and meet us here. Meet us there. Let us escape before it's too late. Numerous townsfolk lay slain within the courtyard of the ancient building. Entering, it reeks the smell of blood and beast. From the altar, he will low growl on the wrapping of claws across the cobblestone floor. The gruesome beast from before can be seen, form wet with gore. With a roar, it bounds towards you. Exiting the church, you see Joy leaving a band of survivors and powder kegs. Good to see you, friend, he says solemnly. I have one final favor to ask of you. I desire to remain here. Old Autumn is lost to the world above, but there are still those here that require protection. Those above will not understand. Take the unaffected. Leave this place, and may you never return. The hunter approaches you. Old Autumn is lost to us. This ashen plague runs too deep. We have but one course of action if we are to contain the spread. It must all be burned. The other powder kegs are moving to root out the beasts and affected. While they work, let us do what we must. As you return, you find the remaining powder kegs gathering. All around, the night has been consumed with the glow of burning buildings, and the heavy smell of smoke and ash fills the air. We'll move to block off all the main paths of the hamlet. None can be allowed to escape. There is but one grouping left, the old church in the heart of the hamlet. Gather what you may still need, then meet us there. Let us end this. Nearing the church, you happen upon a scene of carnage. Numerous powder kegs lay slain within the courtyard of the ancient building. Entering, it reeks the smell of blood and beast. From the altar, you hear a low growl and the wrapping of claws across the cobblestone floor. The gruesome beast from before can be seen, form wet with gore. Sat in the last of fires, you exit the church in the night air, now heavy with smoke and ash. All around the once great hamlet of Old Yarnum lies burning, and hopefully with it, whatever terrible plague that brought such devastation. While the events of this night are unfortunate indeed, we did what we had to, for the greater good of Yarnum. Old Yarnum is burning, but it seems the sickness continues to spread among the infected, driving them to a greater frenzy. The district lies burning, and with it many of the infected townsfolk and beasts alike. If we do not act to contain the spread, this fate could extend to the whole of Yarnum. Despite his wound, the powder keg continues his work. You've returned. Good, good. I need one final component. His face takes on a pained expression as he grips his wound. Hurry now, then we can show these beasts what for. Finishing the mixture, the hunter smiles and begins to limp off. Don't follow. This is my hunt. Shortly after you part, an explosion booms through the night, shaking the ground and leveling a large section of buildings. Powder keg indeed. From someplace high above, you hear a voice call out, echoing through the streets. You will not see things as you should. This leaves me little choice in the matter. Suddenly a whirling sound fills the air as a hail of bullets began raining down upon you. From here you see a large Gatling gun mounted upon a looming tower. perhaps you can find some pathway to it and put a stop to this. You weave your way through the winding streets until you find a path leading to the vantage point. Let us find them and end this. Landing a staggering blow, you send your foe reeling back, toppling off the side of the great bridge into the fiery streets below. While it's a shame this tool cannot be put to better use, at least it will no longer be used against you. And that is Fall of Old Yharnam. We got one more campaign and then we can finally end this unboxing. Oh god, this is a long one. And finally is Secrets of the Church. The Healing Church, while not formally affiliated with the Hunters, remain one of our strongest allies. Located a district known as the Cathedral Ward, access is often bars on nights when the hunt is called. This night, however, the great bells of the Grand Cathedral toll without end. Ominous, as all communication within the ward has ceased. With such strange events, you've been dispatched by the workshop to investigate. Screw the camera. On a usual night of the hunt, the cathedral wall would barricade itself from a greater Yharnam, leaving few ways in or out. But strange events are happening this night. The bells of the Grand Cathedral, which usually mark the start of the hunt, have not ceased, and the servants of the church have been seen wandering the streets of Central Yharnam, far from where they belong. We must find entry to the ward and see what has befallen it. If the information you have gathered is to be believed, there is a secret entrance to the cathedral ward located within a tomb of Odon. This night grows long. Let us make our way there. The towering graveyard looms before you. Something is amiss, however. As you approach a set of large wrought iron gates leading to the passage, you see a contingent of the creatures controlled by the clergy. The last of the creatures falls. From its corpse you find a key to the large gates. Proceeding forward, you find a passage spiraling upwards, connecting you to the crypts beneath the Odon Chapel. The Great Bridge is the main access from the central realm to the cathedral ward. Entering it, you see a large, strong accounts folk. Seemingly you're trying to force their way across. If we are to gain access ourselves, they must be dealt with first. As you feared, access from the Great Bridge lies barred and barricaded, but the behavior of the townsfolk lingers in your mind. They did not seem to be fleeing, but instead trying to force their way into the cathedral ward. A young woman dressed in the garb of the church approaches you. "Hunter, greetings. I am Adela, servant of the church. I am trying to find my way back to the cathedral ward, but these creatures block every passage. But I do know of these remaining way. Perhaps you can escort me?" Approaching the alleyway, Adela rushes forward. "It's this way, Hunter." She swiftly enters, moving ahead of you. Suddenly, a figure rises from the darkness, that of a towering huntsman's minion. You shout to her. She turns just in time to avoid being crushed by the large creature, who instead slams to the alley wall, sending it cumbering from the impact. Angered, it turns its attention toward you. The passage lies entirely blocked, rubble piled high before you. From the other side, you hear Adela's muffled voice. "Are you okay?" I'm fine, but the passage is blocked. I hear them coming. I can't stay. Thank you, brave Hunter. Be safe." The church servants, creatures and servants to be the choir of the clergy, have been spotted roaming the streets of Central Yharnam. It is absolutely unheard of for these creatures to leave the confines of the cathedral ward. Let us seek them out and find their purpose here. Searching over the corpse of the church servants, you find a number of hunter relics and tools in possession. Why would these creatures be after such items? From the hidden passage in the tomb of Odon, you have gained access to the cathedral ward. This was merely the first step, however, as your destination is the Grand Cathedral of the Heart District. To access it, you will need to pass through the main gate into Central Plaza, beyond the old graveyard. Exiting from Odon Chapel into the streets, you find the ward in chaos. Creatures infest the district and panic has overtaken the townsfolk, punctuated by the incessant trolling bells of the Grand Cathedral. From the graveyard, you come to the entrance of the Central Plaza of the Cathedral ward. The large drop gate securely locked, more protection by the church. It is said that only those with a Hunter Chief emblem, a sigil of the church hunters, can open the gate once closed. Re-entering the Great Bridge, you find it littered with bodies, a mixture of townsfolk infected and the servants of the church. Perhaps somewhere in this tangle of bodies you can find the emblem you seek. Just as you reach the center of the bridge, a loud screech is heard as a vast shadow descends upon the bridge, crashing to reveal a massive cleric beast. Now that the beast has been felled, you may continue your search. Rooting through the body, you come across one of a hunter, garbed in attire of the church, and the items you seek. It will appear the church was trying to contain its own mess. You have found the emblem you need to raise the gate leading to the Central Plaza, but while reaching the Grand Cathedral is paramount, we cannot just ignore the events happening as a result of whatever has overtaken the Cathedral ward. Before moving on, we should gather what information we can and at least attempt to quell some of this chaos before it spreads to the rest of Yharnam. The ringing of the cathedral bells cuts through the night. As you pass through the gates of the Central Plaza, a sharp pain enters your head as a strange visions flash within. Shaking it off, you continue onward. What was that? Entering the tomb of Odon, you come across the sight of a hunter standing over a pile of bodies, both human and beast alike. A number of them dressed in a bloody garb of the church hunters and their servants. The old hunter turns to you. Even more to cover up the mess. No better than the rest of the beasts, he yells before charging forth. Sadly, there was no reasoning with this hunter, and thus he had to be put down. Searching through the bodies, you indeed find what you seek, but as you leave, you do wonder his words. Just what mess is the church attempting to cover up? The streets of the cathedral ward are in chaos. Townsfolk flee in panic as the creatures of the church march through the district, striking down any and all they find. We must locate whatever survivors we can. From the survivors, you learn that just before the bells of the cathedral began to ring, a terrible light pierced the night. Shortly after, the creatures descended from the inner ward in droves and began attacking all those in path. Exploring the tunneling streets of the cathedral ward, you come across a lone house, its door being battered by a hulking huntsman's minion. This particular one seems to be wielding a large statue in addition to the common debris usually carried. From inside, you hear the screams of someone in distress. As the beast falls, the door of the house slowly opens. From inside, a lady emerges. Oh, thank goodness, you're a hunter, right? My name is Ariana. Might you know of a safer place? The night is long and very little of the incense left. You weren't lying, this is a safe place. The night has been wretched. There was some terrible light that came from the cathedral. I think I passed out. I came to, the beast was trying to force its way inside. I'm so glad you came along. You come across a figure dressed in the garb of the executioners, a covenant of which sometimes gives aid to the workshop. He greets you. Ah, fellow hunter, greetings. I am Alfred. I suppose you two have been called here this night? Hunter Chief emblem, you say? Interesting. I do indeed know where one might obtain such an item. Perhaps we can make a trade. Assist me in a small task, perhaps I can assist you well. You would threaten me? Just what is the meaning of this? Has the blood gone to your head? Alpha moves back, drawing his weapon. I should have just stuck to the mission. It's okay for trying to show a bit of compassion for a fellow hunter. Alpha rears back, deeply wounded. Bloody fools! So quick to run off to your own deaths! Fine, enjoy your fate, he shouts as he casts an emblem to your feet. But know this, you will regret your actions this night, he curses as he flees. Splendid. My task this night is much like your own. I must see the extended destruction that has befallen our dear city. Come, let us make haste, and may the good blood guide our way. These are troubling events indeed, my friend. I am saddened we did not meet under better circumstances. Here, as agreed upon, as well as a token of my personal appreciation, I must depart now and report to the others. We shall meet again soon. Finally, we have gained access to the innermost reaches of the cathedral ward. Now all that remains is for us to make our way to the Gang Cathedral itself, and hopefully find a reason for the chaos that has overtaken the district this night. Before you, a large congregation of enemies blocks your path. Worse, from the cathedral itself, a pale light pulses periodically, bathing the area. As it washes over you, your mind fills with incomprehensible voices and images. Whatever is radiating from the Grand Cathedral threatens your sanity. Only by focusing your resolve can you keep the whispers at bay. You enter to the sight of a woman knelt in prayer. Before her rests an artifact of the church, a skull. Let us partake in communion and feast upon the old blood. Our thirst for blood satiates us, soothes our fears. Seek the old blood. As she prays, you feel the pulses of light originating from the skull. As a new wave washes over her, all sound ceases. Suddenly she grips her chest before emitting a deathly shriek, her form erupting into that of a horrid beast. Moving forward, you reach toward the glowing skull, that of Lawrence, first to the car of the healing church. Touching it, flashes of the past and perhaps the future fill your thoughts. You steel to your resolve and force them from your mind. You do not quite comprehend the nature of what has transpired here, but this relic will find a new home in the workshop. As you depart, you hear one final phrase whispered in your mind. Fear the old blood. Re-entering the old church, a survivor rushes up to you, ushering you to do so. I'll follow you. Doing so, you come across a horrific scene. Ariana, the girl you saved earlier, lies in a pool of blood. She's dead. Killed stone dead. Must have been a beast, right? You think someone came from outside could have... I just don't... There's a troll old blood hunter, leaving it out the old graveyard. Entering the graveyard, you come across the sight of Adela and a church servant. Adela's attire covered in blood, a blade in her hand. You accepted that wretch's blood, tainted like the rest, unfit for Holy Communion. How could you? She begins to approach you, knife raised. I can't help myself. It is strange. It seems the closer you get to the Grand Cathedral, the higher the depths of madness affecting those around it. The effect seems heightened in those connected to the church. Re-entering the Odon Chapel, you find Ariana missing. Speaking with the other survivors, they say she seemed ill, clutching her stomach and speaking of horrible pains, but none has seen her recently. Near her usual seat, a faint trail of blood leads out of the old chapel into the streets. Why would she leave the safety of the chapel this night? The trail goes thin and you fear you have missed it before you agree to hear a strange noise. From among the tombstones, a low sound is heard, almost like the cries of a child. Explorer, you come across a horrific sight. The body of Ariana, torn seemingly from within, a grotesque and deformed creature next to her, like a mutated infant. It is worse than we feared. Whatever has befallen the cathedral ward does not originate from our own world. Something far more sinister has taken root here. You hear a scream. Turning, you see Adela. She stands covered in blood over a man's corpse. You see a flicker of panic in her eyes. Help, she says, gripping her head. Madness filling her expression as she begins to move towards you. Adela shakes her head violently. The warding incense seems to be affecting her. Coming to her senses, she speaks. Hunter, it was horrible. Visions in my head. The Cathedral of Lawrence. Things we're not meant to know. Approaching the old chapel, you hear the sound of screams and conflict. Rushing forward, you find a large doors of the church ripped open. Entering, you find a grouping of church servers within. Many townsfolk lie dead. The church seems intent on removing any who would still survive in the cathedral ward, going as far to send its minions to do its dirty work. Whatever forces overtaken the cathedral ward is attempting... I'm going to start that over. Whatever force has overtaken the cathedral ward is attempting to worm its way into our minds. We must steel ourselves against its influence, and there is no better contour to temper the mind in the channeling of blood, the very essence of the hunt, and our purpose. Whatever has affected the lesser minds of the population will not break us. We know our mission, and we know our purpose. None, not even those of the church, will stand in our way. As the moon reaches its apex and the clamoring sound of the cathedral bells stills the inner ward, a new sound is heard echoing through the streets. On swift feet, the sounds of transforming weapons and gunshots ring into the night. En masse, the hunt of the executioner's covenant had descended to the streets of the cathedral ward. Taken to the streets, the executioner has begun to cut down all those before him, townsfolk and monster alike. Leading seems to be Alfred. What part did the executioner play on this? Regardless, it appears we might have to fight our own kind if we are to complete our mission. Pray for Master Logarius in my stead, Alfred utters before falling to the ground. Searching him, you find orders instructing that none be allowed to escape, especially those who witnessed the events of the Grand Cathedral this night. You come upon Alfred standing over a mound of wet supporters, all purely human. He turns ready to attack before recognizing you. Ah, it's you! Praise the old good blood. My friend, I bring dire news and a grim task. The plague has contaminated the ward, and as hunters, it is our duty to contain it. Don't be fooled, they are all infected. You will aid us, won't you? It would be a pity to find hunters neglecting their sacred duty. Good to see you understand. Come, let us do what must be done. The last survivor pleads as you strike them down, but as indeed a grim task, it is the duty of a hunter to protect the whole Yarnum. A calmness surrounds you as you hear the bells of the cathedral. For some reason, to now grant you a solace. And that is it. That is it for Bloodborne the board game. I know that was like such a very long review. I know it's crazy. We got through all the cards. We finally got through them. This is gonna be good. Will I be doing gameplay videos? Maybe sometime once I've learned the rules and stuff. Right now, I am still currently doing other things right now, preparing for school and all that. Let's see here. I am also going to be doing review for expansion coming in the mail very soon. Not to mention that I also let's see here. I got Birth of Madness. We could probably do that sometime soon. Actually, yeah, you know what? Give me a moment. So when I'm talking about Birth of Madness, I'm talking about the Mergo's Loft expansion. Now, this does require a lot of different things, but I got it a cheap and easy way. We're going to be using miniatures from the board game, just a core set, as part of the enemies of this thing. Which would mean that one of the bosses we will have to use as a stand-in for Mergo's Loft. Now, I know that also means we have to get the enemy cards, we have to get the boss cards as well. But you know what? Give me a moment, and I'm going to get what is remaining for this expansion that we need. Because it includes the 56 cards, it includes the 10 boss cards, boss data card, and of course, it also includes 2 enemy cards. So that's all it really includes the expansion, and then it also includes the tile, which I will show, and also has a rule. And then here's the boss. And it can actually fit in the box easy. So I like that. We're going to find some place for this though. But for the time being, let me get the stuff we need. So yes, I literally changed the backdrop of everything because it's the final part of the board game video and we don't really need anything else. So let's first take a look at the enemy cards. We will take a look at the board, the last cut part. So Mergo's Chief Attendant. This is the only difference. This right here. This is the only difference right here. So you got that. You got Mergo's Attendant. The only difference is a special. Then we got Phase 1 and Phase 2. And then I'm just going to show you the cards because unfortunately I did not get this in order. So you got 2 of these. Two of these. Two Nightmare Shadows. I don't think you read that, so I'll let you read it. There you go. Nightmare Veil. Sword Barrage. Cross Combo. And Flying Slash. So, there you go. Now we're going to take a look at the campaign, the final campaign, and end this review already. A low fog fills the streets of Yharnam this night, and the air itself hangs thick. As you traverse the alleyways and darkened corners of the city, you are met by the sight of numerous townsfolk wandering the streets, incoherently muttering and oblivious to your presence. Listening, you notice an unsettling repetition to their deranged ramblings. One phrase repeated. Woe to the false moon. The infant has been born. The infant has been born. As you traverse the streets, you cannot shake a growing uneasiness that sits at the edge of your hunter's instincts. Do the afflicted are seemingly more docile than the usual frenzied hordes. The reach of this madness is great this night. No matter, there is work to be done, and the night's hunt is only beginning. You must discover the purpose of the strange creatures. A sharp pain rings through your head, and visions of a sprawling tower fill your mind. In the distance, you hear what sounds like the faint cries of an infant. The ever-present low crying grows in pitch. You grip your head in pain. Your vision blurs. You see images of a place deep in the heart of the district, and a large figure emerging from the fog. Somehow, you know exactly where to go to face this creature. Well, where your blows land, a strange wave seems to ring out from the creatures, as if causing ripples in reality itself. As the creature falls, pain grips your head, the world spinning around you. Darkness overtakes you as you collapse to the ground. From the window, a weak female voice speaks. Hello? Is someone there? Please. It hurts so much. I can barely move. Sedatives. Anything. Please. I cannot stand it. Whoever she may be, this woman sounds to be in tremendous pain. Knocking on the bar window, you see the silhouette of the woman. You've actually returned. Oh, thank you, kind hunter. The pain is so great, and the crying won't stop. But this will make it all better, won't it? It has to. It has to. With this, she disappears from view. Suddenly, your senses flare. Swiftly turning, you come face to face with a strange creature that appears from nowhere. The creature's form erupts into a thick fog, swiftly rises to cover the area in a choking haze. As it is about to envelop you, the street is suddenly bathed in the red rays of the blood moon. Where it touches, the fog seems to recoil, burning away. Numerous bodies of townsfolk lie strewn about. In the darkened interior, you see motion. Two beings, reminiscent of metallic statues, stand over the corpse of a woman. More horrific, a worm-like creature lies partially emerged from her corpse. You move to inspect the corpse of the creature. Touching it, your mind is suddenly bombarded with visions of some far-off place, a sprawling tower of impossible geometry. From it, you feel the gaze of something beyond your understanding reach into your mind. Entering the clinic, you see a curious sight. A stone-like figure is rummaging through the area. It does not appear hostile. Retrieving a container, it turns and slowly lumbers past you. Truly baffled by this behavior, you decide to follow this creature. The creature's methodical steps come to an abrupt halt as it enters the crossway. Its form begins to dissipate into the surrounding fog. Darting forth, you strike on the empty air that fades from sight, just as that of a hunter returning to the dream. Welcome to Mergo's Loft. You awaken in a daze, finding yourself in what appears to be some sort of torture chamber. Surrounding you lie many scattered and broken cages which appears to function as lifts. Before you have time to properly explore the area, dark figures advance on you. The last of the creatures falls, allowing you time to now explore the area. From a nearby window, you catch a glimpse of the blood moon, risen high into the night. While this is usually an ill omen, for some reason, as it rays past over you, you feel an eerie calm and a composure to climb the tower. You find a barred and locked lift, seemingly the only method of ascending. Inspecting it, visions of places across Yardam and the large creatures from before fill your mind. As they pass, you find yourself back within Yharnam, some force compelling you onward. Something compelled you here, though what you do not know. Entering the old chapel, you find nothing out of the ordinary. Yet, as you inspect the hallowed place, your vision begins to blur. You realize quickly, however, your vision is not what being affected, rather the building itself appears to blur. Slowly, the figure of one of the large creatures begins to manifest. Once fully formed, it turns confused to its surroundings. Noticing you, it raises its large cleaver to attack. As the creature falls, you notice them, the cries from before. You had almost forgotten them, as if they had merged into the background of your mind. But now they return, piercing your ears and thoughts, pounding away at your very sanity. You stagger, swiftly moving to the chapel exit, something urging you to get out. As you emerge, you nearly collapse in the street. Yet as soon as you are out of the building, and once more in a bathing glow of the blood moon, peace returns. Looking down, you find an old key clutching your hand. Let us continue. Through the haze, you arrive in the lower reaches of the tower, but you find you are not alone. A figure stands before you, flanked by the smaller creatures you have encountered through Yharnam. The figure turns. So the presence sent its pawns. They draw the weapon, as do the smaller minions flanking them. For the sake of the child, I'll send you back to your precious dream. Your foe staggers to a knee. We all have our masters to serve. I hope you have chosen yours wisely. They speak before falling into the gaping chasm. Nonsense. All that is left to move forward with your goal. Ascend the tower. Slay the infant. Pyres fill the ancient graveyard, surrounding the massive tomb. A congregation of townsfolk here gathered. Praise the formless Odon, praise the child. An unknown fury swells within you, compelling you to attack. The last of the mob falls, leaving only you, the distant newborn's cries, and the bass of the blood moon. Infected blood sprawls across the tomb, tainting the very ground. But you have done well in showing your might to those who would oppose the dream. A deep, almost instinctual hatred stirs within you for the ones serving this new threat. Hunting them down like all beasts is second nature to you. However, the compulsion to demonstrate your devotion through blood and fire is strange, yet you are compelled. The pyres burn high into the night sky. Far above, the crimson blood moon glows, and from deep within you feel satisfaction in slaying these servants. The cries that fill the night seem to intensify, but you are growing to enjoy their wail. Hunter, I'm afraid my condition has only worsened. What a night for sickness. Would you possibly consider helping me? I need to get to the clinic. The pain, I simply cannot bear it any longer. The young woman exits, gripping her stomach. As you approach the clinic, the pale fog swirls around you. The young woman grips close to you, barely able to stand her own now. From the fog, figures begin to emerge. The last of the horde falls, and with it the thick fog covering the clinic dissipates. You guide the young woman to the clinic doors. Thank you, kind hunter. She smiles through obvious pain before entering the old building. Hopefully she will find aid within. As you near the final lift, you feel a presence invading deep into your mind, cautioning you to be ready before continuing. Whatever it is, you both harbor the same goal. Find the source of this nightmare and strike it down. But why are you sure of this? With no one's let you here. You shake your thoughts aside. We must hunt. You feel that gathering additional insight before sending may aid you immensely. The lift draws you higher and higher until you find yourself exiting the massive area at its peak. In the center lies a solitary baby carriage, so out of place among these ruins. Here lies the source of the infernal cries. As you approach, a massive figure lands before you. Its form you cannot identify, but the rags draping it and the many blade-wielding arms tell you all you need to know. One more foe to slay. With its final guardian slain, you approach the carriage. While you see no visible form within, you can sense the presence you've been seeking. With a single blow, you shatter the entire frame to the ground. As you do so, the last escaping cries echo directly into your mind. As they fall silent, you turn to see the blood moon, now radiant and full in the night sky. Was it always there? As its rays bash over you, the pool of the dream beckons you to return after a task well done. Another who will come to oppose us? Can't you understand? This is a new beginning. He can free us all. I can't let you stop that. Your blows strike true, cutting your foe down. Yet after an instant they rise once more, restored. You have your precious dream, my master. Let's see which one is more favored. There is some influence tethering them here. And what did they say about our connection to the dream? A feeling in your mind tells you that is a key. We are strongest near the lamps, our connection. Perhaps that is where they may be weakest. Once more you strike down your adversary, and just like before, their form rises. Suddenly the usual dull glow of the lamp sparks bright, and they stagger, as if their breath was suddenly pulled from them. Lifeless, their form falls to the ground. They will rise no longer. Your blows strike true, cutting your foe down, yet they begin to rise again. For a moment you can even see their wounds begin to close. Suddenly, however, they stagger, as if some force has gripped them, drawing their very life from them. Motionless, they fall to the ground. The Great One Odon, lacking form, exists only in voice. This monument to him deserves to be destroyed. Wait, but why? No, not why. How? Let us burn it to ash and cinder. The fires rise high into the night as you exit the once sacred building. Soon nothing will remain. Turning your gaze upward, you are met with the glow of the blood moon at its apex. It is almost as if it praises you for your deeds. The scene before you is a slaughterhouse, but more disturbingly amongst the corpses, small figures feebly and directionlessly crawl, their shrill cries mimicking those from high above. Feeling the last of the creatures, silence returns to the clinic, except for the perpetual cries emanating from the tower. There was no saving those here, you tell yourself as you turn to leave. If I had done the best we can now do. Hunter, you returned. The girl from before moves before you, as if in a trance. Please, we must go. Follow me. Haven't much time. She grips her stomach, an expression of pain taking hold of her. Quickly now. Mist suddenly swirls around you, consuming you both. As it clears, you find yourself back in the tower. Unfazed, the girl staggered onward. I needed to stop. I'm not surviving. My periods are heated. Let's continue. The girl enters the lift. As you're about to follow, something stops you. The cage closes and the girl turns to you. You now see crimson grown from her stomach, staining her clothes. It's gone now. The pain has stopped. I have to fulfill my purpose. The lift ascends, disappearing from view. Also, that was the freaking yarn of the Marian Queen with that quest. The fuck? But that is it for Bloodborne, the board game. I'm going to be playing it, hopefully, after I get a bunch of reviews done. Because I got a heck lot of stuff to do soon. Really. Like, you're not going to believe how much videos you're going to see upcoming before the end of April or August. Not to mention that after my, after the Hunter's Dream expansion, I will be doing, also I've decided not to do the fan-made stuff from Bloodborne the card game because that's just going to take too long and I don't really have everything for that, so yeah. But pretty much, I'm going to be re-uploading, or not re-uploading, more like completely doing my first 8 Transformer reviews. I'm going to be redoing all those, because the first time I did completely sucked. So I thank you all again for watching, and as always,